Hello. How are you guys doing? Be right with you. I'm just uploading some stuff real quick. Sorry, I wasn't expecting this technical difficulty. But hello. Yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. October 11th. We've almost made it through Sunday. Fuck, I'm sorry, guys. This is something's fucked up all in here. Yeah, hello. Welcome, October 11th. Glad you guys are here. Pretty interesting week in the NFL so far. Let's go back and look at some of the scores. Tampa Bay did their thing. Chargers were an exciting win. Justin Herbert's the real deal. I think he's the best quarterback. I was a fan of him coming out of Oregon. I was like, this dude's good. He's got a program that's not that great. He's able to carry them, had some good wins and so forth. And he's just stepping up and still doing it, man. I'm really liking Justin Herbert. But Packers Bengals gave us a lot of excitement. Green Bay won that game without their starting left tackle, without their starting left guard, without their center, without Zadarius Smith, and without their best cornerback. So they lost basically three of the four most important positions: left tackle, shutdown corner, your top your top pass rusher. They were all gone, and they still beat a very good team. Green Bay's for real. I know a lot of people like to discredit the Packers and discredit Rodgers for some reason. He's not the media darling. But the Packers are for real. That defense is definitely improved. I had doubts. I'll be the first one to come out and say it. I had doubts, but they're doing the deal. The linebackers are playing so much better. They're shutting down teams when they need to, and that's what you got to do. I mean, they're getting pressure with just their front four. Dean Lowry is playing amazing. That was a great game. Vikings at Lions. My poor Lions. If only the Lions would have won that game, about 33% of you would have been out of the survivor pool. That's crazy. We really needed the Lions to go that way. It's just kind of the way things have going. The Lions I feel bad for Dan Campbell. As I told you, I played on the field. I was playing JV when he was on varsity. We played each other almost every year because the towns were so close. But I really feel bad for Dan Campbell. If you didn't like that press conference, if you didn't think he was an emotional, if you don't think he cares, I don't know what to tell you. That's football. That's football, man. What you saw out of Dan Campbell, it's emotion, it's comradeship, and when you lose, it sucks. Losing sucks so bad, man. And the Lions have just lost in so many awful ways. And I really wish they would have won, because what I found out is a lot of you people are listening to a certain few experts that are telling you guys on the survivor pool what to do, because it was disproportionate. I think it was 44%. Actually, I said 30. It was 44% of you pick the Vikings in your survivor pool to win. I even told Big Amo I don't feel good about that game. It's a division rivalry. The Vikings aren't playing that great, and the Lions have been catching bad breaks. And lo and behold, that's basically the story of this game. Those three things. Man, I wish so bad they would have won and knocked all you guys out. But you better watch out who you listen to, because when I went and looked at what people said in the survivor pool, these people that are your mainstream media guys, I'm talking SiriusXM, I'm talking Fox, I'm talking ESPN, I'm talking NFL Network. I'm calling all them out. And if you're following all them for your advice, they're going to set you up for some bad failure. And I'm not going to be here to say I told you so. I'm just going to be like, well, you should have been listening to me. Buccaneers, my lock of the week, my survivor pool of the week, won 45-17, and it was never even a doubt. Never even a doubt. Game got mishandled. Steelers showing some heart. That's what happens when you have a great coach. Mike Tomlin isn't going to let their team go to 1-4. That just wasn't happening. Even though they played a great Broncos team, they put up more points on the Broncos than anybody all year. So it's just we're still such in a limbo. Are the Broncos for real? Who the hell are the Steelers? Are the Bengals fraudulent? Are the Falcons coming back? Who are the Saints? Who the hell are the Saints, and who the hell are the Washington football team? Where is that defense? I've watched the film on that front four, and they are lackadaisical. They are not putting any pressure. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Green Bay Packers are putting more pressure than the Washington Redskins. It's the football team, excuse me. I don't know what happened. Let's go to the biggest what the hell game of the week. The Eagles just shutting down the Panthers. This game cost me a lot. I entered the survival pool week 5. I'm doing all right. I'm winning money on it. But damn, if the Panthers just would have won that game, that we'd have been looking at such a different outcome right now. They really let me down in more ways than one. I had them on a couple parlays. So Sam Darnold did Sam Darnold things this week. Is Christian McCaffrey what makes Sam Darnold? Is that what we're finding out? Or is Jalen Hurts just streaky? That defense is just streaky? Because that offense didn't really do much. The Eagles line 3-3-7-8. That's how they got to 21 points. That's not great. Panthers just disappeared in the second half. Some kind of second half adjustments were made by the Eagles because the Panthers ended up scoring 3 points in the total of the second half, and they were up 15-6. So I don't know what happened, but whatever it is bad. Titans and Jaguars. Jaguars become what, the first team or second team? I don't know, to lose 20 games. They were my pick to lose the most games on the season. I never believed in Urban Meyer. It looks like he's just a joke. He just needed to get himself back in the media. Or he thought he could get a good gig in Jacksonville where the weather's nice and make good money. Take your ass back to Ohio, man. Go dance with some, teenagers again. Patriots at Texans. That game didn't go out like we started. I think the Texans controlled all but a few minutes of the first half. And the Patriots came back and won. They did the deal. I had them in one of my survivor pools. So that was nice of them to be able to do that. That was a pretty good game. That was probably the game of the week, honestly. Patriots at Texans was a good game. I'm going to go back and watch that on film and break it down. Bears versus Raiders. Who the fuck are the Raiders? Who the hell are the Bears? There's a lot of question marks. This game, Big On, when I told you, hey, there's a lot of these games could go either way coming up. And I didn't expect the Panthers to. I don't think a lot of people did. But when I went back and looked on the survival pool, not too many people had chosen them, probably because they had already been chosen in earlier weeks. But the Bears, man, Justin Fields didn't do great. They just kind of controlled the clock and played good defense. It's like if you would have gone back 3 weeks ago and looked back, Matt Nagy, everybody's like, who's Matt Nagy firing? What? Matt Nagy's so awful. He's just the worst quarterback of all time, or the worst coach of all time. This hyperbolic crap. And he's gone to the playoffs twice. The Bears are 3-2, and I have no idea who the hell they are. I have no idea what the strength of their team is. I guess it's their defensive line. I guess they're, people are like, you destroyed a championship defense. You can watch Rex Ryan going off talking mad business about Matt Nagy. But the truth is, they're doing good, and that defense finds ways to make sure teams like the Raiders only put up 9 points. They didn't even score a touchdown. They went 2 quarters without a freaking score. The Raiders we thought were pretty good. Apparently not. We were right on Hunter Renfrow. I hope you took that bet. But it's just a big question mark to me. Browns versus Chargers. Now, that was a game. Chargers just 26 points in the fourth quarter. We think the Browns have a good defense, but it's like sometimes these offensive coordinators don't know what they're doing. Like sometimes I don't know what Matt LaFleur was thinking and Hackett are thinking in that Bengal game. It's just like, and I get it. We all make bad decisions, but not really. If you've been at your job like 5 or 6 years, you kind of know what decisions to make and what works and what doesn't. And I get that the NFL is a little bit dynamic from week to week, but why wait till like you absolutely have to do something to do it? Why go backwards 5 yards and then kick a field goal with the game on the line? Why take the ball out of the best player's hands when the game is on the line? Let the man do his thing. The Browns are just another example of bad. They should have drained that clock out. You don't want to give the ball to Herbert. Herbert's top 5 QB in the NFL right now and will be probably for the next decade and a half. Just play. It just goes back to show you that the NFL. I used to put it on such a pedestal as far as the way things are run and what they do. It's just like McDonald's and Burger King and KFC and whatever other fast food chain you want. There's 32 of these chains. And about 28, 26, 20 of them are ran very poorly and have bad management and have bad sub management. And these people don't really know what they're doing, even though a lot of these guys have been around this sport in a professional sense, not like me as a spectator or a player. I've done that for 3 decades now, but most of these guys have been in this sport one way or another, had somebody knew the right person, their dad knew the right person and got them in there, and they've been in this profession for a decade or more, and they still make awful decision-making skills. So you just wouldn't be, it's a luxury that the NFL's allowed for their general management and their coaching, which would be like an assistant manager. It's a luxury they're allowed that a lot of other businesses aren't allowed. If somebody was in Urban Meyer's position and they were brought in to make a change to a company, and not only do they not meet expectations, they haven't been able to change the result. They haven't even been, the results are worse in some ways than they were last year, and he's still chugging along making millions of dollars, right? That's what we're all trying to get to. Break that mold, become one of these $100,000 analysts, $1 million analysts that make awful takes, that rely on their team of college kids to do all their work for them, and then they just go be the face on the camera, and they're wrong. They're so wrong. Yeah, that's where we're all trying. That's my goal. That's what I'm trying to get, a millionaire, and I'm trying to get to that point because I make very good comments and I do a lot of good work, and it goes on deaf ears. But back to the point at hand, that's just it in a nutshell. These coaches, these GMs, they make awful decisions and they get a pass for it. One of them, let's talk about the worst GM out there, the one that I said would be fired before their bye week. Their bye week's week 10, I believe. So we're halfway there. They're 1-4. Of course, I'm talking Joe Judd and Dave Gettleman. That was a bit like, whew, Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Hernandez. We're going to have to look at some of these draft picks that they have completely whiffed on and look at the way they run the organization. It is awful, awful, awful. The Giants are a perfect example of everything I just said. Bad ran organization, bad general. You entrusted your organization with a bad general manager. You've just paid for it dearly ever since. You've hired bad coaches. You've made wrong draft picks. You brought in a couple good free agents. I'll give him that. But it's just he built something at Carolina, and he had a great quarterback named Cam Newton that was able to make him look like a success and cover a lot of bad things. You don't have that in New York, Mr. Gettleman. You don't have that winning. Joe Judge, you can't talk to your players the way you've been talking to them and go 1-4. They don't respect you. It's very obvious. 49ers at Cardinals, a little closer than we anticipated. Kyler Murray had his worst game of the year, 239 yards and 1 touchdown. Hard to believe that's his worst game of the year. Trey Lance had 16 carries and 89 yards. He did what he didn't score in the first half. We're rushing these rookie quarterbacks out way too much. It's something I see on fantasy football, Twitter, or social media. It's just like, let these rookies sit a little while. You know who's set for a while and it worked out well for them? Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Eli Manning. Let me keep going here. Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers. Let's see. Tom effing Brady. Some of these, we would the need for instant gratification and like I said, it goes back to these management. I feel like, it's hard not to have outside pressure kind of influence your decisions, right? Even me, it's hard not to have other people's opinions influence what I think. But we've gotten to the point where we got to rush these rookie quarterbacks out there. Of all the rookie quarterbacks drafted in the last 5 years, how many of them have gone on to have that success that we need? That is what it's showing you. I don't think it's an awful call to rush these rookie quarterbacks out. You rushed out Joe Burrow. He had an injury. You're not protecting him. He's one of the brightest emerging stars in this sport. Is he going to make it? I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be protected long enough. If you could have, you don't think you could have set him last year and got the same exact record that you got? Probably. Trey Lance, all these quarterbacks that aren't ready, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mills, of course, he wasn't supposed to be ready, but we just need to be more patient. Remove that instant gratification need from your personality. That's what's called the character flaw. And I just feel like a lot of these coaches they leave their quarterbacks out there to dry and use them as a scapegoat whenever things go bad, when really they should have just made a better decision and let them sit. Play the veteran. Play the veteran. Is Zach Wilson ready? Hell no. He looks like one of the worst quarterbacks out there. Is Trevor Lawrence ready? Hell no. His decision making is terrible. It's terrible. And their confidence is going to get ruined. And then you, as a fan base, you guys and the media will lambaste them because that's what people like to hear. We don't like to build people up anymore. We want them to be successful immediately. And if they're not, we'll go out there and destroy them and rip them, blame everything on them. And they're just like a little kid, really, or some of them are in their tweens, which isn't really much different than being a fucking kid. So, say what you want, but you guys are rushing these quarterbacks and you ruin them out there. Zach Wilson's career he's going to be just like Sam Darnold 2.0. Mark Sanchez 2.3. Where does it end with the Jets quarterbacks expecting a young quarterback to lead them to a victory? It's just not how you do it. It's not how you do it, man. I'm sorry. The Bills just smashed down the Chiefs, bro. I mean, they beat them so dang bad, and I saw it coming. We can go back and look at something else I'm right on the defensive side of the ball. I had the Chiefs in my bottom 10 defense of the year. I got so much crap for that. I mean, I was like considering not putting out defensive content. I was like, man, not because I thought I was wrong, just because I realized that a large percentage of the fantasy football community or football community in general neglects the defensive side of the ball. Why did Patrick Mahomes win his first Super Bowl? Because his defense was able to shut down the other team for half of it. Why was he all of a sudden found himself in all kinds of trouble in the last Super Bowl? Because his defense wasn't any good and the other defense was really great. Why does Tom Brady win Super Bowls? Because he's constantly with like a top 5 defense every freaking year. This game's about defense. Yeah, the offense and the quarterback, that's for all you casual fans and all the pretty lights, and they'll hook you in with that, and that's what you'll pay attention to. But when you really get down to this game, defense is all that matters. It's not basketball. It's not baseball. It's defense is what wins these games. Why were the Bills so successful? Do you watch what the Chiefs were doing? Patrick Mahomes is scrambling. That offensive line is not near as good as I told everybody. It's just what you can't hodgepodge an offensive line and expect it to be great. Right? That's just not how it works. And then the Bills are able to Micah Hyde, another person I told you about. Like, let's watch him. Let's see what he does. Terrific game. The Bills why were the Chiefs sucking? They can't bring any pressure. Without Jones, they have no pressure. Clark, he can't do it. He needs a good interior defensive lineman to generate that pressure. Their secondary's weak. Dirty Dan is doing a lot of covering, and that's not his specialty. He should pretty much be a linebacker up there smashing the run plays. But, that's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes. Defense is when nobody else cares anything about it. But that's what you got to do to win, man. That's just what it boils down to. Looking at tonight's matchup, let me get my phone. We got Colts at Baltimore. It's should be, I think it's going to be a little closer than what people think. Baltimore's not just like blowing anybody out of the water. They're winning close games, which I will give to their head coach for, he did that. Colts at Ravens is a 7-point spread, -105 for the Ravens, 46 on the over-under, -335 plus 260 on the money line. So pretty good one. Bookies are telling you the Ravens should win this game, but they were saying the same thing about the Carolina Panthers, so they can't be wrong. Let's look at some rushing yards. Jonathan Taylor, 56.5. He's probably going to have to do that if they're going to have a chance to win. Latavius Murray, another thing I got in a huge argument with about 5 people all over me because I said Latavius Murray is going to take over this backfield. Tashawn was a third stringer for a reason. Nobody expected Latavius to be able to come available. Everybody thought he was going to be a New Orleans Saint. And he popped up, and he's a good running back. People are like, yeah, he wasn't that good for the Raiders or the Vikings. Yeah, that's not how I remember it. 50.5, that's well within his reach if they run the ball. Baltimore's been kind of more pass happy. Another thing, Marquise Hollywood Brown. People are like, oh, he sucks. He's washed up, and he's still like on his rookie contract. And I was like, dude, he got 9 touchdowns and was like less than 20 yards short of 1,000 yards. You're not going to take that? You're not going to take that. You're so silly if you think that's bad. That's not bad. Mark Andrews, 51.5 yards. Marquise Brown, 54.5 yards. Michael Pittman, 52.5 yards. Paris Campbell, 20.5. Sammy Watkins, 39.5. Zach Pascal, 38.5 yards. I just went and picked him up. I went and dropped Cephas. Hurt me. I've been riding the Cephas train all year, but he got hurt. And you just don't hesitate to make a move. If you can pick up players on Monday, if you're allowed to drop bench players after they've already played, Go look at somebody on Monday night. Go look at somebody Sunday night. The moment they're hurt and they're on your bench and it looks like they're going to miss some time, you don't have IR spots, or if your IR is full like mine, don't be scared. Do not hesitate to go get somebody at that moment. All right. Receptions, we won't really look at that one. Let's look at defense and special teams, my favorite prop, baby. Who's going to spend more time on the offensive side of the ball? I think it's the Ravens, right? That's what we always look at. So now that we have determined that the Ravens are going to control this game, which the bookies have pretty much told us already, we got Anthony Averett, Darius Leonard at 9.5, plus 100. I don't think he's going to get it. Kenny Moore's at 5.5, plus 115. Patrick Queen's at 5.5, negative 150. I don't know if Carson Wentz is going to air it out. I don't know who he'd air it out to. So maybe DeForest Buckner 3.5. Julian Blackmon 5.5, the safety. I kind of like that one. 5.5. It's at plus odds at plus 115. Blackman over 5.5. He should do it, man. That's right there. That's right there on where we think it's going to happen. But he's a safety. If Lamar breaks free, he could be one of the last guys to try to track him down. Kenny Moore, I thought, was questionable the second. So watch that. His is at 5.5 as well. Patrick Queen, though, Xavier Rhodes, 3.5. Meh. I really like, if you're looking for it, I like Patrick Queen at 5.5. I like Justin Blackman at 5.5. I don't think you can same game parlay those. I think on Caesar Sportsbook you can. So maybe you're feeling lucky, do that. I parlayed the two I told y'all about yesterday, Reed and Savage. It hit. It was like plus 238 odds just to get 10 tackles. It was easy. Super easy, man. Promotions, what do we got today? Colts defense to record half a sack and over half an interception. To pick off Lamar and to sack him, I'm staying away from that one. Let's go see what else we got on the odds boost. Ravens to record 150-plus rushing yards at plus 110. I took that one. Run the damn ball. Jonathan Taylor to record 75-plus rushing yards, plus 230. First and 10. That's over his rushing line. His rushing line's at 59. So if you think he's going to get 75-plus rushing yards, you might as well just do that. If you want to, wager one on this one and wager one on his 5 and 59, because if he hits the 75, he definitely hit the 59, but might be just a way to ensure your money in the betting world. That's one way to do it. I'm probably going to take that bet too. First and 10 points scored in the first quarter of the Colts and Ravens. I never, ever, ever take that game because the first quarters usually have game scripts. They're usually in a rhythm. They're not usually messing up, and the first quarters usually go by really, really quick. All right, looking at it, like I said, we've already kind of broke down how we feel about everything from a week perspective. But as the season goes, I got to say the biggest surprise, I don't know what the biggest surprise for me is. Honestly, I kind of expected the Cardinals to be good. They've been my power one. They've been number one in my power ranking since week 2, and I got a lot of crap for that too. The biggest surprise thus far, I don't know, really. Everything's going. I said I don't know who some of these teams are, and that's true. But as far as expectations, everything's going about how I foresaw. Washington's not doing as good as I thought, but I didn't expect Ryan Fitzpatrick to get hurt the first week too. So there's that. The Texans are 1-4. The Bears, they're just a big anomaly to me. I figure they're a little under 500 team for me, but their defense is playing a little better than I expected. The Chargers, that's probably my biggest surprise. I didn't expect them to be 4-1 for week 5. New head coach, new defensive coordinator, kind of putting pieces together defensively. But they're doing the deal, man. They're doing their deal. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to outscore every opponent 47-42, but they're doing well. Cowboys are who I thought they would be. The Giants are who I thought they would be. The Bills are who I thought they would be. The Cardinals are who I thought they would be. Some people might say the 49ers are a surprise. They were a bottom 5 defense for me. They didn't have a secondary before those guys got hurt. They have no defensive line. Nick Bosa's decent. But they, and then Shanahan is starting to lose his luster. I think his style of offense, you got to remember he's been playing that since the Washington days. When Washington went on a run with RG3. So think about that. RG3 is retired now. So it could be that his kind of play and his style and his cool demeanor and not trying to be like real personable, the opposite of Dan Campbell. Let's just say that. It may have ran its course and it may be over, and he may have really ruined his franchise with giving away so many draft picks for Trey Lance, a quarterback that at best I see in a playoff quarterback. I don't think he's the real deal. Sorry. But yeah, that's, those are my thoughts on the season. Let's wrap it up with the Packers. Packers are who we thought they were, 4-1. It's really weird to me because Aaron Rodgers is hands down the best quarterback. I'm not saying the greatest. The greatest comes with the team accolade, but the best to ever do it, it's hands down Aaron Rodgers of this century. There's not a better quarterback. I mean, Peyton Manning, close second. But as far as like what you do with the ball in your hand, Aaron Rodgers is bar none, man. That's just the bottom line. He's bar none. You can take your pre-snap reads and you can take your teams and the clutch moments and the defenses that some of these guys get, but he's the best, and he's showing it to you. Look what Patrick Mahomes is doing with the suspect defense. He doesn't have a winning record. He's thrown more interceptions than he has touchdowns. And he's asked to do a lot, but shouldn't he be delivering that? If you're a regular season MVP, a Super Bowl MVP, you don't really get no slack, in my opinion. And they definitely pander to it. Well, his offensive line, defense. Well, you're a quarterback. Like I told you, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have his left tackle. The four most important positions in football are quarterback, left tackle, pass rusher, cornerback. The pass rusher plays the left tackle. The cornerback shuts down the quarterback's main threat. You see how that works? It's very simple. Aaron Rodgers didn't have his left tackle, his shutdown corner. They've been without Zadarius Smith. Though on top of that, he didn't have a starting left guard, his starting center that he's had all season, plus multiple injuries in the secondary, and he beat a very good team on the road. The Packers are real, man. I know it's not popular. I know it's fun to hate on Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers is done, and he hates playing for Green Bay. He doesn't love football, but they're 4-1, baby, and they're coming for the NFC because the NFC's wide open. I heard somebody say the AFC's wide open. What? Because the damn Chiefs lost? We knew that the Chiefs weren't going to go to the third Super Bowl. We knew that. We knew the Chiefs were going to be worse. Their offensive line is crap. Their defense is awful. They can't bring any pressure. They can't cover in the back end. Their linebackers are mediocre at best. The AFC's been wide open since the end of the Super Bowl, man. The NFC is the one we need to be queuing in on. Because look at all these 4-1 teams. Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Dallas Cowboys, Los Angeles Rams. Oh, and the Cardinals are 4-1. Yeah, the NFC, it's going to be fun. It's going to be real, real fun. The Bills have got the AFC as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. They have an easy schedule. People are going to have to go play in Buffalo in the winter. It's going to be – the Chargers could do it. That would be interesting, but at some point they're going to falter, I think. They're good, though. But that's my thoughts. That's my season thoughts. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. You guys take care. Peace.